All right, good morning, all you webinarers out there. Welcome to the Greater Waco Chamber of Commerce COVID Response Series. My name is Rick Tullis. I'm the current chair of the Greater Waco Chamber. I'm also joined with some special guests today, Nathan McCray, which I'll introduce a little more in a minute, and Emily Young. And of course, you know, Matt Metters, our president and CEO of the Chamber. I want to start off by thanking our sponsors. We've got some great sponsors here. So First National Bank of Central Texas is the lead sponsor, and it so happens Spectrum Reach is our gold sponsor, and that's who is going to be with us today and sharing. In fact, Emily and Nathan work there. I'll introduce Emily first. She's the sales marketing specialist for the Greater Waco area. It includes some other towns around here too. And so she's going to be helping out with Nathan, who's going to be leading the conversation today as he's talking. Nathan McCray, very interesting guy, been here since '84, I understand. He's been through, you know, we've had one or two crises around here in the past. And so I think he's weathered that through different roles he's played in our local media and companies around here. So he's got some great wisdom to share with us today. So similar to what we've done on past programs as well, there's a Q&A button at the bottom of your screen. Nathan's going to give his presentation, but as he's going along, if you have questions, go ahead and log them on there. Emily will be watching those and prepping for that. And then also, I think, you know, Emily's going to be doing something else very important. Emily, you want to tell us real quick about your marketing giveaway?
Yes. So Nathan will have a photo of it in the presentation in just a little bit, but we are giving away a Yeti lunchbox. So the way it'll work is I am going to write down everyone's name who I see in the attendee list over here. And at the end, old fashioned, we will draw it from this bowl right here, just because I want everybody to have a chance to, you know, fair and square. And then I will mail you the lunchbox so that you can get it ASAP, but you'll get to see that in Nathan's presentation. So make sure to stick around. But yeah, we're really excited to have you all.
Yeah, go get all your coworkers to log in. Give yourself as good a chance as possible. Get your kids to log in. You're just sitting at home.
Yeah, right. As many attendees as we can get.
Yep. After Nathan's done, Matt will come on and close out our program today. So without further ado, and I'm happy, you know, that the salons and barber shops are open. Nathan was able to get his haircut, get ready for today. He looks
right.
sharp.
That's right.
And Nathan, take it away, bud.
All right, fantastic. Thanks, Rick, and thanks very much, Matt. Appreciate you, Emily. Appreciate you all for joining us this afternoon for advertising in adverse times. Now, I'm going to go ahead and share my screen and get started because I know that your time is extremely valuable. So just like Emily mentioned, the very first thing I want to show you all is the prize that we're going to be giving away right there. So that is a Yeti lunchbox. It's got a retail value of about $80, I believe. But just as Emily mentioned, all she's going to do is write down everyone's name that is a part of this meeting. And toward the end of the meeting, she's going to draw a name out of a bowl. And then she's going to tell me who that person is. And I'm going to go ahead and announce who that winner is. So be on the lookout for that and make sure that you're ready to receive that gift if you are the winner. Okay, so one of the things that I like to do, I'll follow Twitter, and I know that we've been watching a lot of what's been going on with COVID-19, and I think that some of the folks that I happen to admire the most right now is anyone that is at home with young children. I am fortunate enough to have a 17-year-old and an 18-year-old, so they are very, very low maintenance. As long as there's food in the refrigerator and as long as the internet works, they're fine. They're upstairs, and I don't hear from them, you know, for days on end. But there are some folks out there that have some very young kids, and I've wanted to share a few tweets that I've seen during this quarantine time that I thought were pretty amusing that I wanted to share. So first one, it says quarantine day 6, went to this restaurant called The Kitchen. You have to gather all the ingredients and make your own meal. I have no clue how this place is still in business. I thought that one was great. This one I thought was pretty funny too. It says quarantine update. 8-year-old put a mask on the 2-year-old and taught her how to rob her sister's toy cash register. Laws just don't matter anymore. Thought that was pretty funny. I also like this one from 3-time Daddy. He says, today we did some math. If you have 3 kids and they're awake roughly 13 hours in the day and you're trying to work from home, how many times do you hear the word snack? And then finally, the one that I think kind of explains where most of you all with kids are at home right now is quarantine day 12, almost out of my emergency backup wine. That is, those are some funny tweets. And so if you're at home right now and you've got kids, then I want you to know how much I admire what you're doing, from the homeschooling to working with them and dealing with them 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, knowing that they came home for spring break and basically never went back to school. Okay, so today, advertising in adverse times. What we're going to be talking about today is what you can do as a business owner that's going to help you with your marketing during these adverse times. And I know that there are going to be some of those of you that agree with everything that I say. There are going to be some of those of you that agree with some of the things that I say. And there are going to be those of you who don't agree with anything I say at all, that say, well, this guy is crazy. But guess what? All of that is just fine, because all I'm here to do is offer you all a different perspective. Because what happens is when we get in our businesses like you guys have had to do, and you focused on your business 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, there's nothing else that you've been able to concentrate on and focus on. The closer you get to something, the harder it is to see around something. So all I want to do today is just give you all a different perspective. And when we talk about perspective, this is what it is. It's all about perspective. No matter where you are, no matter what you're doing, there's always another perspective to how things are coming about. So if you've got kids, you know what? It's one thing being at home with you, and it's another thing if they're at home with the principal. So all we're going to do today is talk about a different perspective. Now, things have been changing very rapidly, as you know, even as of yesterday, when the governor announced that businesses are able to open up back at about 50%. So I can tell you that right now, this is probably every project right now. No matter what you're working on, no matter what you're doing, it's start. No, we're going to stop. Well, no, we've got to hurry up and get something done. Well, no, we have to wait. Okay, well, no, we need to have a decision to have a meeting to make a decision, or maybe we'll do that. Okay, well, now we've got to change direction, but we're still not sure, but now it's time to pivot. And at the end of all that, you basically end up with who knows. And that's the thing that we want to focus on, and that is who knows. No one knows. Anyone that tries to tell you, hey, we've been here before, we know what's going to happen next, we've got something to compare this to, that's just not true. We are at a time and we are at a place that none of us has ever been at before, from a personal standpoint, from a professional standpoint, from a financial standpoint. It's all new. But what I can say is that our company is more than just a cable company. We're a data company. And so whenever we get in times that are uncertain, the one thing that we can always fall back on is the data. And so what we do know is that 96% of adults are watching as much or more television than they did during the COVID outbreak. We know that 66% of Americans are using more streaming content, and we know that 55% are more likely to shop and spend their money with businesses that are lending to the community. So if we take those three knowns and we apply those to advertising, and you're trying to figure out, if I'm going to advertise, where do I need to focus my dollars, this is what you should be looking at. You should be looking at advertising on television. You should be looking at OTT or over-the-top advertising, which are your streaming products. And then you should be looking at search. Those are the three things that if you've got a budget to spend on advertising and you're trying to figure out where that needs to go, those are the three things that you should be looking at. Now, let's talk a little bit about what advertisers are doing when it comes to their budgets and their advertising. Let me slide this window over here. Okay, so for local advertisers, their spending plan during COVID-19. As you can see, about 40% of those are saying that they're going to spend less money. About 6% are saying that they don't know. You've got about 18% that said that they are going to spend more, and then you've got 36% that are saying that they are going to spend about the same. So about 54% of those folks plan to maintain or increase their advertising spending. Now, why is that a good thing? And I'll tell you. About a month ago, I had a customer service issue, and I needed to call the company's 1-800 number. And I got a hold of a customer service rep who happened to be in the city of New York. And so as we were talking, and we were asking how each other were doing, and she said that there's kind of an advantage to this. She said it's nice to be in New York and be able to get in my car and be at work in about 10 minutes. There's not a lot of people walking around in the street. There's not a lot of traffic in the street. And so I can be at work in 10 minutes, and that's just completely unheard of when you're in New York City. And when she said that, it got me to thinking. And what I want to show you is the opportunity that's been created because of the fact that there are so many more people consuming media, and we've got the folks that have not done the advertising and have done the cancellations. And so what's happened is when it comes to your media advertising, the highway is opened up because there are more people watching, less people spending. And because of that, you've got an opportunity as an advertiser to get your message out and start conversations with your prospects, with your existing customers, to talk about what it is that you'll be doing going forward. I think, like most of you, maybe 2 months ago, we were at a point where, the Big 12 basketball tournament was about to start for both the men and the women. And I remember that day. We were all excited in the office because we knew that the Baylor men had a really good chance to do well in the tournament. And we knew that they were definitely going to be going into the March Madness tournament. The women were defending champions, and we knew that they would probably win the Big 12 tournament and then do very well in the March Madness tournament. We knew that those tournaments were going to be on ESPN. All of my account executives had actually sold. We were sold out of inventory. Everyone was excited. Everyone was ready to go. And then I remember watching the news a couple of nights prior, and the NBA canceled their season. So that was done. And then we were in the office, and we got the email that the Big 12 tournament had been canceled for the men. And then the next thing, we got an email that said that the Big 12 tournament had been canceled for the women, I believe on the same day that they were supposed to play their first games. And then as we were talking, we just said, okay, well, there's absolutely no way that they can cancel the March Madness tournament. That's just preposterous. There's no way that they're going to do that. But sure enough, the email came out that they canceled the entire March Madness tournament. So right off of the bat, just from those three events alone, we were looking at a deficit in cancellations, probably $50,000 or more in just canceled advertising. And so we had to pivot. We had to do some things differently. And as that happened throughout the country, it opened up the opportunity for other advertisers to come in and spend money and have a larger share of voice in this green area. And so right now, if you look at the openness that we have, we're kind of toward the tail end of that. So things are starting to change now. Things are starting to, people are getting out of the house. They're going back to the businesses. So as a business, you're asking yourself, what is it that you need to be saying to these consumers? Well, there was a poll taken. They talked to about 2,000 consumers. And one of the things they asked them is, what do you want to see in your ads? I think that we've all seen the commercials where the brands say, well, we're here for you. We've heard the word uncertain times a whole lot of times in the commercials. We've heard the word unprecedented times. You know, all of the words and things that they're using in these we're here for you and we'll stand together commercials, they were effective and they worked fine at the very beginning because everyone hadn't adopted them yet. But now I would say that most of us, when we sit down and to watch television and you hear one of those commercials come on, it's kind of, okay, well, how many times are we going to have to continue to hear this? So when they did this survey, what they found out is that 44% of consumers right now, what they want to hear in those commercials is that you're open. They want to know what you're doing, what kind of service adjustments are you making, what kind of updates do you have? Are you doing curbside pickup? Are you doing free delivery? What are you doing that's going to make it the absolute easiest and best for me to get my product or my service from you? That is what they want to hear. The next thing that they want to hear is they want to hear about your compliance. I know that the state opened up a lot more yesterday, but the fact of the matter is that the customer and the consumer is not going to come back until they feel absolutely safe. And the way that you do that is you let them know specifically the types of things that you are doing to keep them safe and to be compliant. How much are you cleaning? What are you cleaning? What are you using to clean? Is everyone wearing masks? Are you checking temperatures as people come in the door? What specifically are you doing so that that person that's at home wondering whether they're going to come back to your place or not, what are you doing to show them that you're doing everything in your possible power to help them stay safe? And then you see down at the very bottom at 8% is offering deals. And the reason being is what we don't want to lead by telling folks, this is the deal that we have for you, because what's more important is they want to know how they're going to be safe. So the deals will come later. So if we look at this in three phases, we look at phase 1, phase 2, and phase 3. So right now in phase 1, the focus is on we're open, letting your customers know that you're open, you're ready for business. These are the things that you're doing differently to make it easier for them. The next phase, and that starts now, would probably go through July or August, is what you're doing to be COVID-19 compliant. And think about showing it in a TV commercial. Think about showing it in your social media. Think about showing it in your email blasts. One of the beautiful things about social media is that you can put together a longer piece of video. So let's say, for example, you've got an eating establishment where your 30-second commercial can show people a quick glimpse of what it is you're doing. Why not use social media in the longer formats to get into the specifics? You know, if I'm going to come back to your place and eat, you know, I'd love to see you take me on a tour into the kitchen. You know, show me what your folks are doing, how they're cleaning the equipment, how clean your kitchen is. Show me what you're doing as a business to make it better for me to come back. I think I saw a story. There was someone that had a boutique, and what this person said was that there was a concern about trying on clothes. You know, so what happens if you go into a place, you try on the clothes, and then typically before COVID, you know, you try something on and then it would just go back on the rack. Well, what does that happen in retail 2.0? And she said that anyone that tries clothes on, when they take those clothes off, they take them to the back and they take a steamer and they steam those clothes and they put them back on the shelf. And I said, well, it's great for you to say that, but it would be even better for you to show that as well. Show that in your social media. Take that clothes and follow that piece of clothing item all the way to the back. Show the steamer, show what it does, how it works, and then putting it back on the shelf. Anything that you can do that's going to make that customer feel at ease. And then as we get toward the end of June, and as people do feel more comfortable with coming to your place of business, then it's time to start to focus on your offers. What are you going to offer? What are your specials? We're getting into the fall, getting close to the holiday season. And so that would be an outstanding opportunity for you to start focusing on the types of deals and the types of specials that you are going to be offering to those. So if you think of this as in 3 phases, right now, it's letting as many people know as possible that you're open. And that's on your social media. That's on your television, any way that you can get the word out to let folks know that you're open. And then phase 2, we want to focus on being open, but also the fact that you're COVID-19 compliant. And then when we get into phase 3, then that's when we start to focus on the types of offers that you guys have. Okay, so we've talked about the fact that people are watching a lot of television, they're consuming a lot of media. We've talked about the 3 phases and what you should be advertising. So who do you speak to? Who do you talk to? Well, What's Waco Watching is something that we put out every week to our customers. And before I tell you and show you what's Waco Watching, I want to talk a little bit about how we know what Waco is watching. There are, in our DMA, there are probably 350,000 television households. And roughly 130,000 of those television households have something that's called a cable box because they're Spectrum Reach subscribers. And those cable boxes are two-way cable boxes. And what those boxes allow us to do is those boxes allow us to gather data. And that data is gathered anonymously. And I want to assure you that this is not a case of us collecting data and sitting somewhere and saying, okay, well, let's see what Rick's watching on television today. It doesn't work that way. When we started on the project of using this data, our president and CEO, Tom Rutledge, told our tech team that what he did not want is he did not want to be sitting next to Mark Zuckerberg in a Senate hearing being drilled on how we are using our data. And so he said, whatever you all do, make sure that is not where I end up. And so they've done a fantastic job of being able to gather this data and do it in a way that's anonymous, but at the same time, it provides us with a lot of feedback on what people are watching, how often they're watching, when they're watching, and all that is data that we can use to help you as a business target the right consumer for your advertising message. And so if we were to take a look at what Waco is watching right now, you can see, let me slide my box back over again. You can see that right now, it is all about news. You see Fox News Channel is number 1, followed by Spectrum News, followed by CNN, followed by MSNBC. So those are 4 fantastic news networks. And as you would imagine, there's a specific reason why those are the most viewed cable channels right now is because people are trying to gather and consume as much news as they can to know what's going on, how this affects them financially, how this affects them, their business, when is it safe, any developments. It's something that we're all doing on a regular basis. And then you get into some of the more the entertainment networks, HGTV, which is always a popular one, Investigation Discovery, Hallmark A&E, the Learning Channel, the Food Network, USA. Now, I want you to notice the one thing that see in here, and I want you to notice where it is. If we go all the way to the very back here toward the bottom, third one from the end is ESPN. Now, ESPN is normally way up here near the front, but because of the simple fact that there's very few live sports happening right now. I think soccer league in Germany just got the okay to start playing, and we'll start to slowly see that come back. There's baseball. They're looking at that starting up in July. We'll start to see ESPN slowly creep back up. I will tell you that this Sunday, the 24th, we are airing The Match, which is the twosome golf tournament with Phil Mickelson, Tiger Woods, Tom Brady, and Peyton Manning. And we are just about sold out of that too. And it's been amazing to watch that because we are being contacted, and the way that businesses are getting hold of us and are wanting to buy that, you would think that it's the Super Bowl. I mean, it's been very interesting to watch because it's golf. And I know that those are four very, very big names, but it normally does not end up that way. But because there's been such a lack of live sports, we are all clamoring to grasp and watch any live sports that we can. There's a reason why ESPN also moved The Last Dance, which was the documentary on the Bulls. That was not supposed to start until June, but they moved it up because ESPN didn't have anything to air. And that documentary, I'm sure a lot of you tuned into it. It did very, very, very well in terms of viewing. So if you're a customer of Spectrum Reach, one of the things that we do is we use all the data that we can to bring it to your attention so that we can show you how that data works, how it works with your business, how we're able to target the folks that you're trying to reach, whether it's based on how much money they make, whether it's based on the types of jobs that they have, whether it's based on their household income, whether it's based on their age. That's all data that we have access to make sure that the message that you send is going out to the right people. Okay. So one of the other things that I mentioned is I talked about a free offer. So let me unshare my screen real quick. All right. And we're going to go to my browser. Here it is. Okay. So if you right now, or anytime that this session is over, if you go to our website, which is rebuild.spectrumreach.com, what you're going to come across is you're going to come across our microsite. And if you take a look at that microsite, you'll see that there's a button that says Get Small Business Resources. And if you click on that, then you'll see there are two things that we're offering to every business right now. One of them is a 50% match on your investment. So basically what that means is anything that you spend with us in the months of June and July, then we're going to match it 50%. And then the other one is an absolutely free video. And where the free video is important is you as a small business, you may have the audience and you may know what you want to say, but getting that commercial in order to get that message out can oftentimes be a challenge. And so we have partnered with a company called Waymark. And what Waymark does is it allows you to go online to their website and produce commercials. So I'm going to go there real quick. Waymark.com. And you can see that you're able to produce stunning commercials in minutes. They've already got templates ready to go. And you can not only build templates based on your TV commercial, but you can also, if you'll notice here, you can build commercials for Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, LinkedIn, Pinterest, You can do it based on different categories: beauty, e-commerce, fitness. And all you do is you'll go here, you'll log in, you'll create an account, you'll go ahead and you'll upload some photographs, pick out the template that you'd like to use. And when you're finished with that, commercial, you download it and you're able to use it any way that you'd like to. It is 100% absolutely free. And so if you've got a message to get out and you don't quite know how to word that message, or you don't quite know how to get that commercial produced, then there's a great option for you to go ahead and jump right in and start to work on a commercial. And if you're having trouble with it, or you may not be technically inclined, that's okay. Let us know, and we would be more than happy to help you out getting your commercial done and taken care of. Okay, I think there's only one more thing that I want you to consider, and that is, let me go back to my presentation. There we go. Okay, so once you decide that you do need to work with a media partner, this is what you need to expect from your media partner. No matter who you decide on, whether it's us, whether it's broadcast, whether it's radio, whoever it is, you want to make sure that that partner is a true partner, and they're not just a vendor. They're not just showing up every month ready for you to spend their money, that they're actually a part of the solution for you, that they understand your business, that they have the data to support their marketing recommendations, and that they also offer a variety of marketing opportunities. So they have more than one thing that they can offer you, not just that one thing. But then they also come equipped with the creative ideas that will fit your business. Those are the things that you should expect from any company that you work with as you move forward with your advertising. And one of the things that we were very excited about to find out last week is that the Myers report came out, and they asked a question: which media sales organizations are the most trusted to deliver on their promises? And as you can see, we were fortunate enough to come in at number one in that survey, above Pandora, Hulu, Voodoo, Viacom, and a bunch of other ones after that. So I only say that to say this: if you're going to choose a partner to work with, you could do a whole lot worse than Spectrum Reach. Okay, so if anyone has any questions, I'm going to go ahead and stop sharing, because I think that Emily may be fielding some questions. And then also, we want to make sure that we have time to provide and give the winner of our giveaway for today.
Yes. So far there haven't been any questions come in. So if you guys have any questions, there's that Q&A button that you can submit your question in. And if you can't find that, you can also send it in the chat. I can see both of them. So this would be a good time to ask Nathan any questions regarding the presentation, any questions regarding marketing in general during this time. I know he would be happy to answer those.
Okay, let's see. Oops, so Sandy just said she wasn't able to hear, but she figured it out. That's fantastic. Yeah. Glad you're able to figure it out, Sandy.
So,
okay.
Yeah, I don't think we have any questions, Nathan.
Okay, well then that means that I did a good job of getting all that information out there. You did. Okay, so is it time to give away a Yeti lunch box?
It is. So, I have written down all of the names that were in the attendees list. So, if you're here, then your name is in my little jar. So, I'm going to go ahead and move them around. And I'm going to draw. And the winner is Karen Brown. Karen, are you here still? If so, will you send in the, oh, I see you. Okay, so if you will please, in the chat, put your email so I can reach out to you we will have that mailed to you, that Yeti lunchbox. I'm so excited. So yeah, send your email. Yeah, okay, got it. And then I'll get in touch with you for your mailing address. So thank you so much for joining. Thank you to everyone for joining. This is, like Nathan mentioned, definitely unprecedented times, and a lot of what we do for Spectrum Reach is we try to get out in the community and share these types of informative presentations. And so for a while it was put on pause, but now, you know, we've adjusted to the times. We're meeting virtually and doing what we can. We always want to come across as a partner to you and just someone who can help you stay informed on the current media trends and best practices. So I hope you all enjoyed today, and congratulations to you, Karen.
Yes, congratulations, Karen. And want to thank Rick, and definitely want to thank Matt, and thank all of you all for sharing a half an hour with me today. So look, we're going to let Matt close it out. And if you all have any questions after that, I'm sure Matt will funnel those to us if there's a need.
Well, Nathan,
thanks everybody.
Yeah, thank you so much, Nathan. We really appreciate your time today. I found your presentation to be very, very interesting. While we didn't get questions, I have a whole running response off to the right here of people who are saying, thank you very much for the presentation, and they found it very helpful. And it was very, very useful information, Nathan. So thank you very much. And Emily, we sure appreciate you joining us today as well. I'm going to go ahead thank you. I'm going to go ahead and close up today's program by once again thanking our sponsors. Spectrum Reach is one of our major sponsors. First National Bank of Central Texas, one of our major sponsors for our Business Power Hour series, and we're very, very grateful to those companies for their support of your Chamber of Commerce. I want to take a minute also to thank all of you folks for joining us as we continue to try to bring you very helpful and meaningful content as we all begin this pivot away now from having our economy shut down, and we begin the process of fully standing up the Central Texas and the Texas economy. Very exciting times. We're going to continue to provide you with content, important information, particularly as it relates to opening your business and how to do that in a manner that will help to bring customers comfortably into your workplace. That information, more of that information is coming, how to protect your employees, how to protect your customers. So please watch our social media platforms and our website, and watch other communications that we send you in relationship to that, because we want to do everything we can to help you open your business and help you to bring customers back into your business and make sure that everyone is doing that in a safe and comfortable manner. So again, our warmest thanks to our presenters today. Our warmest thanks to all of you for joining us. And for those of you who are supporters of your Chamber of Commerce, we're grateful to you for that. We're here for you. And until next time, we'll talk soon. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.